This is Amy Carson from WKDU Philadelphia, 91.7 FM. And right now I am chatting via Zoom with,
Daniel Bateman from Frog.
yeah, very fun, very exciting. Myself and I know many other KDU DJs are Frog heads. I don't, Frog Nation,
Frog Nationals.
Frog National. Yeah, we'll take that. And we're sitting down to chat about the new Frog album, which will be out by the time this airs. A little record called,
1,000 variations on the same song.
would you want to explain that title a bit? Because also, if people look at the track listings after the intro track, every song after the title has the word variation with a number in sequential order. So is
Mhm.
that like quite literally you started from the top, made a theme, and made variations from it?
Uh, it's an old form, the theme and variations. There's a lot of great people who've done a lot of good versions of it. I like the Goldberg variations, and there's a major sonata by Mozart. It's not a sonata, but he calls it a sonata. It's really just, he plays the theme. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. It's very beautiful. So I like that a lot, and I like the way that if you just keep certain variables the same, like for instance, a melody or a chord progression, there's a lot that you can sort of get from what's left. You know what I mean? There's a lot of variation within songs if you sort of force yourself to adhere to a certain set of constraints, like with chords or a feel or a rhythm in this case. And a lot of fun, cool things happen when once you start doing things like that. So it is a theme and variations. The Stillwell theme at the start, I was working at the store and I made a theme song for it. And it's like a little joke. You have a Stillwell theme, it's a theme song for this company, this store, and then the variations are all not related to that one. So I thought that was like a way to, I don't know. Everything is, if you do it right, it can be sort of an invitation for you to like go deeper and get the joke. And then if you get all the jokes, that means that there's no prizes, but it means that like it's communication on another level.
No,
It's
I get what you
like
mean.
how many corners there are within art to hide in and put like little messages. I think it's fun to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and I gave the record a full listen. And honestly, I don't think if it wasn't titled that it was all going to be variations on the same structure, I don't think I would have caught it. But with that in mind, is it the same chords throughout? Or is it just that kind of like general rhythm vibe going through?
Oh yeah, the central like theme that I'm doing variations on it is more of a, yeah, it's a rhythmic idea, a set of related rhythmic ideas that I think is the theme. It's not like with Goldberg, he's doing the same chord progression over and over again, and he does it a billion different variations, and they're all incredible. But like this is more about like this style of moving in music.
Yeah, I guess I should have read at the top this pull quote from the promo material, which I think articulates what you're saying pretty decent. 1,000 variations on the same song is a theme and variations. There are times in your life as a songwriter where you'll start a bunch of stuff that all sounds alike, which can be a problem, something that you want to excise from yourself. This time, I decided to embrace it and take it as far as it could go.
And they're
You know,
going to 1,000.
yeah, you're going to a
The
thousand.
first 10.
The
We're
first 10.
trying to get to 1,000 over the next year and a half.
When you were making those variations going up to 1,000, was there any like pre-planning that went in, or was it just like, okay, this is variation number four, it's going on the album, no editing of like, oh well, that one was a stinker. We're gonna forget that variation existed, or was it just like purely this is number seven, on it goes?
It's close to what you said, the latter way that you put it, but the ideal is an improvisation is the record. And I think once that becomes the thing that you're sort of trying to sort of get behind, you can break that rule, and I break that rule a lot, but only if you need to, because I think like the best part of music for me is like when the listener and the player are discovering the song together, like we're both hearing it for the first time. That kind of like way of writing music, I think, is my favorite for now. And so like all of them were improvisations. Then we recorded them again on tape. So it's sort of both if you think about it like that.
No, I get that. And is that different from other Frog records, how the songs were made? Is this just like the evolution of what you've been doing for a while, or was this just like a new approach entirely for you?
Yeah, I mean, like you don't ever want to work that hard. It's just trying to have fun, you know? It's like so if you can make the song with just like you press record and you just like whatever happens right there is that's the record, like that's the best situation for art to happen because like then it doesn't matter. You know, you just gotta show up right now and like be funky.
And going back to something you mentioned earlier, that Stillwater theme, that's a funny joke little theme song that you came up with while you were working at a store called Stillwater. Is that
Um,
on the cover? That
yeah.
Stillwell, sorry. Stillwell.
A friend of mine owns like a prop shop. It's like a business that rents like props to film and TV shows. And there was a strike, the SAG-AFTRA strike and the writer's strike that happened in 2023. And that was like really bad for my friend's business. And I had a lot of jobs at that point, but one of the jobs that I had was working for him sometimes. And so we turned it into a store because, you know, obviously there was no film and TV business at that time. And so to like try and get business, we made the song together. And I wrote it with like while they were there. And it was like really fun. That was a great time.
That seems to kind of like play into what you were saying earlier, though, as well, as far as just like the point of music, the point of art, make something, have fun, feel it with others in real time.
Well, you know, it's just the easiest way to do it. It's really a lot of it is like it's like how am I going to write 1,000 songs if I can't just like do one after the other, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I guess speaking of doing stuff in real time with other people, you got a tour coming up.
Yep. Thanks for bringing that up. I will be in New York City in April at the Bowery Ballroom, and I'll be at the Echo in Los Angeles. I'll be in San Francisco, Seattle, and many other dates. And I'm so excited to see everyone there. Hopefully, one of the people listening can also be there.
Well, you're not making any stops in Philadelphia, so
I'll do my best to make it back. I'm
okay.
not I'm not in charge of a lot of this part right now.
All good. Won't hold it against you. Just keep that in the back of your mind. And kind of similar with that, you've been making music for a long time. I don't mean to make you feel old, but the first Frog record came out when I was in middle school, and now I'm in grad school. I started listening during college, and a lot of the people I know who are Frog fans tend to be a bit younger than me. You've had a long career. How has touring changed over that time? And how has like what's the experience of, having an audience over time be like a generation behind you, if that makes any sense?
I'm worried about the generation behind them because one of them just came up and came into the interview for a second. So I'll be right back. I got to put my son to bed. Hold on for a second.
All good.
Hello. So sorry about that.
It's okay. We're back. So do you want me to repeat that question?
How does it feel to be so old?
Well, a little bit softer than that. But yeah, I mean like being in a band for that long, touring across the different, I guess not necessarily eras, but different phases of your life and audience potentially changing over that time as well.
It was a blessing.
Mhm.
You know, I love making music and I got to do it for fun for so many years. And so that was a great thing for me. I
Hmm.
had a great time. I recommend it. Listen, have fun. Play the music you want.
And I guess kind of follow up to that. Your drummer's now your brother, right?
Yep.
Is that going to change? I mean, touring going from like you and a friend to you and your sibling. Have you guys gone on like a long haul tour together? Like it's like a brother road trip almost with music.
Yeah. So Tom was the drummer on the first few records, and then he moved away to a different country, and so I was did one record by myself, and then Steve came in for the last two. But Tom actually came back to the US and now he plays bass at the show. So it's us three.
Aw, that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
But like on the records, like, Tom lives in, like near you, like near Jersey, in like South Jersey or whatever. So like it just it's not easy to like get it together. Everyone has kids and stuff. Either I'm there by myself or it's just me and Steve. Usually Steve's there because it's more fun.
I think I have one more question about lyrics stuff. Especially if you're improvising a lot of songs, it's how you come to it. What's the lyric writing process like? Do you find that you come back to the same sort of themes? Is it just like whatever rolls off is what it is?
It's an interesting question. In the end, the reason why I like doing it in the way that I do it is because I don't want there to be a process. That's not interesting. That's boring. So like you just need to find your way to something that makes you laugh or makes you like feel something. Something that speaks to you. And then of course you use that. It's you shouldn't complicate it. Like how does the music make your body feel, right? If you like the way it makes your body feel, then turn it up. And if you don't, then turn it off.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much. Once again, Daniel Bateman from the band Frog, taking the time to chat with me. Great new record and great
Amy, thank you.
philosophy.
Appreciate that. Sorry about the philosophy.
Hey, no, but the philosophy is have fun. I think that is that's the most fun philosophy you can have.
Well, in any case, I hope to see Philadelphia very soon, near and dear to my heart. I lived there for 2 months of my life. The only time I've ever lived outside of this like 10 square miles. Great city.
How'd you land here for 2 months?
I had an internship.
What part did you land in is another thing.
I lived in 5 different apartments.
In 2 months?
Yeah, it was really nuts, and I don't recommend doing that. So, but it just happened that way. I didn't have enough foresight to be able to do it right.
Ain't gonna lie, that is kind of like the most Philadelphia experience is to just have a bunch of different roommates in a short period of time. So you had the authentic experience.
Thank God. It was a great city. Love walking through it. It gets hot there this summers.
In the summers, yeah. Yeah, and you're actually the day that the record releases on Friday, Valentine's Day, is when we're having the big Eagles parade for them winning the Super Bowl. And it's
Congrats.
thank
Go
you.
Birds, right?
Go Birds. It's legitimately like a local holiday. All the schools have closed. A bunch of people's jobs have canceled because there's going to be like a million people coming to the city. Transit's entirely like different for the day to account for the crowds. And it's mostly just going to be people getting drunk in the streets as we watch the football team drive by in buses. It's going to be a great time.
The Triumph.
And A Thousand Variations is going to be the theme record, at least from my experience out in the streets.
Let's hope that's true.
Once again, thank you, and we'll see you in Philadelphia soon.
Thanks, Amy.